It starts like a hand on the doorknob of your life, Cancer. Not gentle, not cruel, just decisive. September doesn't come to chat. It comes to move furniture. And because you are the sign of home, family, safety, and emotional truth, you feel the scrape across the floorboards and the shift inside your chest from the first week. This is not a soft reset. It's a reveal. 2 eclipses set the month on rails. The first drags money, trust, and shared binds into raw daylight. The second rewrites your daily rhythm and the way your voice lives in your home and in the world. All month, Mercury runs combust, hot and bright, forcing clarity in how you ask, answer, plan, and pace. Uranus turns retrograde and the surprise flips inward, rewiring your social world, your goals, and the way you let the crowd touch your nervous system. Mars fires up your base camp and asks for bolder boundaries where you sleep and eat and heal. Venus slips into your money house and sweetens your voice, your value, your asks. The Sun joins Mercury in your house of everyday systems and dares you to make life simpler, kinder, and more honest in practice, not just in prayer. If you remember nothing else, remember this shape. The first half pulls your attention to income, values, speech, and the tender mathematics of mine, yours, ours. The second half turns the wheel to communication, daily systems, nearby connections, and peace inside your 4 walls. Keep your center soft and your edges real, and you'll turn a month with teeth into a month of upgrades you can live inside. From September 3rd to September 30, Mercury is combust. That means mind and mouth run bright and hot at the same time. Because Mercury rules your 3rd house, communication, and your 12th, rest and release, and because it spends the first half of the run in Leo, your 2nd house of money, speech, and values, and the second half in Virgo, your 3rd house of messages, neighbors, siblings, routes, and routines, you'll feel 2 distinct waves. Wave 1, September 3rd to 14. Watch your tone around money and watch your money around your tone. Pricing, invoices, family budgets. What are we even doing with this subscription? The moment you ask for your rate without apology, these conversations glow neon and carry heat. Draft before you deliver. Sleep before you decide. If your words sharpen, leave the room and come back with your breath attached. Wave 2, September 15th onward. Clean your schedule, write better lists, simplify routes, create quieter paths for your mind to walk. Batch errands. Put the paper pile in one basket. Give the family chat office hours. Plug the leaks that make simple days feel like storms. The truth of this month is not glamorous. The way you talk about money with the people you love, the way you ask for what you're worth, and the small rules you set for your day are the levers that either melt you down or make you durable. September 6th, Uranus turns retrograde in Taurus, your 11th house of friends, groups, networks, social media, referrals, and the horizon of your long-term goals. When Uranus is direct, the Shatha rhymes from the outside. When it turns retrograde, the switch flips inside you. You feel a quiet, exact urge to step back from noise and ask, who actually supports my growth? Which goals did I adopt because they photographed well, but never fit my soul? Think of Uranus retrograde as the electrician with a headlamp upgrading the wiring behind your social walls while the lights stay on. You keep living. Your circuits get safer. You clean your feeds. Your shoulders drop. You put time limits on the apps that turn your heart into a siren. You thank a group you've outgrown and go. No speech required, just taps and an honest yes to your nervous system. This also touches money, sourced through networks and referrals. If one revenue stream is braided to people who drain you or platforms that pay an engagement instead of respect, September shows you the receipt. Shift your effort toward rooms that pay with fairness, not just followers. Be the friend you want to keep. Be honest about the rooms that keep you small. Then the sky cuts across your ledger. September 7th through 8th, the lunar eclipse lights your 2nd and 8th axis. Sun and combust Mercury in Leo blaze through your 2nd house, income, values, voice, family resources. Facing the moon with Rahu in Aquarius in your 8th, shared finances, debts and taxes, intimacy, the truths we whisper until they choke us. In real life, this sounds like money talks get real. Secrets won't stay put. Promises need proof. And your values require a voice that matches your actions. If you've dodged a budget talk with a partner or family, this window drags it into the open. If you've been carrying too much of the shared load, bills, emotional labor, logistical weight, the eclipse holds up a mirror and says, rebalance. If you've stayed quiet to avoid conflict about money or worth, the eclipse asks, at what cost? Your move is small and seismic. Say one true sentence about money or values and put one number on paper. Your rate, your limit, your boundary, your budget. If you're negotiating loans, alimony, inheritances, shared expenses, insurance, subscriptions, document everything and move slower than your emotions. Combust Mercury can make truth sound like a weapon if you rush. Rahu in the 8th pulls you toward transformations born from honest exchange. Choose structure over shortcuts, transparency over theater. If the old fear of not enough pops up, meet it with math and a plan you can keep. 5 days later, the light narrows to a clean beam. September 13th, the Sun and Mercury meet at the same degree in Leo, Kazimi, in your 2nd house. Your mind sits in the Sun's heart and hands you an unambiguous sentence about money, value, and voice. It might be, we don't spend on things that make us anxious, or I raise my rate by X, or I won't joke about myself to make other people comfortable, or groceries this day, bills that day, or here's my emergency fund and exactly how I feed it. It can also be the mercy you owe your own worth. I don't discount my labor to be liked, or I won't let my tone punish the people I love when finances scare me. Write it where your eyes land. Tape it to a cabinet. Kazimi is quick lightning. The rule it delivers works for months if you anchor it. That same day, Mars enters Libra and sets your 4th house on fire, in the best way. Home, family, property, base camp. Mars brings heat, courage, and the need for edges that hold. At home, this looks like finishing the repair, starting the project, deciding the move plan, buying tools you'll actually use, and laying down house rules that quiet the noise. No work in bed. Shoes off at the door. 1 silent hour after dinner. Let anger become action, not shrapnel. Mars in your 4th also presses on old pressure points because Pluto retrograde is in your 7th, partnerships and contracts. If you're renovating, moving, co-owning, or negotiating, the deeper talks you didn't have time for, walk in and sit down. Let them be honest and solution-shaped. If an old story about home and safety stirs, treat yourself like you treat your people. Firm with the plan, gentle with the heart. You are allowed a peaceful home, and you are allowed to protect it. September 15th, the emotional weather tilts in your favor. Venus moves into Leo, your 2nd house of money and voice, and Mercury slides into Virgo, your 3rd house of messages, neighbors, siblings, short trips, skills, and schedules. Venus sweetens the conversations that used to snag. Use it to ask for your rate with calm shoulders, to have the what do we value as a family talk without turning it into a courtroom, to upgrade one tool that makes your work smoother, and to practice speaking to yourself like someone you love. Meanwhile, Mercury, still combust but exalted and surgical, wants systems, not slogans. This is the moment to build the everyday rails your life can glide on. Checklists, calendar blocks. We text during these hours. We shop this day and take this route. 1 admin task after breakfast, 1 after lunch. School forms and receipts live in this basket. 20-minute kitchen reset before bed. Across the sky sits Saturn retrograde and Neptune retrograde in Pisces in your 9th. Belief, publishing, long travel, mentors, the big thesis of why you're here. So every tiny system you install becomes runway for the big plane later. You're not being fussy, you're removing turbulence. If you teach, write, consult, or broadcast, Tighten your process. Outline short. Edit once. Ship on a cadence your body can keep. On September 17th, the Sun joins Mercury in Virgo and throws full light on your third house. Now you can see how your messages and habits either protect your peace or pickpocket it. You might draw a kind boundary with a neighbor who texts at midnight. You might build a co-parenting schedule that ends the weekly fire drills. You might choose one skill, writing, design, code, language, instrument, to touch daily for 3 months. As the Sun in Virgo faces Saturn retrograde in Pisces, your calendar is asked to prove your beliefs. If you say you value rest, where is it blocked in the week? If you say you value honesty, why do your emails hedge what your mouth would say? If you say you value family, where are the unbreakable blocks? This is not a guilt parade. It is a clean audit. Do my days reflect my priorities? Adjust now, and the structure will hold you through fall. September 21st, 22nd, the second eclipse installs what the first revealed. Solar eclipse in Virgo, Sun, Moon, Mercury shoulder to shoulder in your third house, facing Saturn retrograde and Neptune retrograde in Pisces in your ninth. If the lunar eclipse stripped a money story that kept you small, this one bolts in a communication system and a daily rhythm you can keep even on your worst day. No speeches, defaults. Do 3 simple disobedient things. Delete 1, helpful. Task that never helps, the one that eats hours and gives nothing back. Write 1 rule you'll keep even when you're exhausted. No work calls after 8. No gossip in the family chat. No driving while texting. And set 1 boundary for your attention. 1 hour offline after dinner. No phone in the kids' room. 20 minutes alone on my feet every day. Because this eclipse faces Saturn and Neptune, your systems will be tested for realism and infused with compassion. Don't jam your family into a rigid schedule that breaks by Friday. Create a rhythm you can carry for months. And give your spirit a chair at the table. Read 1 page of something you love. Say a simple prayer or intention if that matters to you. Sit with your breath for 5 counts. Your life is not a factory. It's a home. Build like you mean it. You live by the moon, so here are the windows that matter. The moon's combustion window, September 20th to 23rd, overlaps the solar eclipse and blurs feelings for everyone. Lower inputs. Keep the schedule light. Don't expect clean reads. Delay big heart decisions until after the 23rd. When the moon moves through Taurus around the 12th to 14th, it's exalted and your 11th house lights up. Friends, groups, gains. Perfect days to reconnect with those who lift you, to ask for help, to review goals, to feel hope again. When the moon moves through Scorpio around the 26th, 28th, it's traditionally low and for you hits the 5th house. Kids, romance, art, play. Keep plans simple. Don't turn a small comment into a big verdict. Protect play from pressure. Watch 3 karmic knots when the moon jumps water to fire and mood flips fast. Around the 10th, Pisces to Aries, big ideas to career action. Don't promise beyond your body. Around the 19th, Cancer to Leo. Identity to money. Don't buy feelings a throne. Around the 29th, Scorpio to Sagittarius. Love, children to work, health. Hydrate and simplify. Across all windows, follow the body. Hungry, eat. Tired, sleep. Spinning, touch what's real. Cold water, warm mug, bare feet. Gentleness is not weakness. It is medicine. Early September, Venus still in Cancer makes you magnetic and sensitive at once. It faces Pluto retrograde in Capricorn across your 7th house and asks for truth in how you pair and how you contract. If love is strong, honesty deepens it. If a business deal is fuzzy, clarity saves it. This can be the week you look someone you love in the eye and say, I need this to feel safe, or we can't keep skating past this. And because Venus is on your side, the talk can be warm and real. On the 15th, Venus into Leo blesses your money and voice. Don't overspend to self-soothe. Use the sweetness to create value, ask with grace, and receive without apology. Mars in Libra, from the 13th, powers home projects and protective instincts. Channel heat into hammers, emails, lists, meals, rearranged rooms, and rules, not into sarcasm. When Mars presses on Pluto later, the tension between home and partnership spikes. Don't crown a winner. Build a better plan. We clean Saturday morning so date night is free. We budget this line so the project doesn't drown us. We swap bedtime duties so both of us sleep. Saturn retrograde and Neptune retrograde in Pisces keep asking you to marry belief to behavior. If you value family dinners, schedule them. If you value health, put shoes by the door. If you value honesty, stop telling white lies that buy short peace and seed long resentment. Work and money hum all month. The lunar eclipse forces honest numbers and fair exchanges. The Sun-Mercury Cazimi hands you one clear money rule. Write it and follow it. Venus in Leo, as long as you don't spend to numb, helps attract fair clients and kinder terms. Mercury and the Sun in Virgo push you to tighten process, short emails, clear scopes, realistic timelines, office hours that have an off switch. The solar eclipse installs a daily default. No laptops in bed. 1 admin hour after lunch, not at midnight. Errands batched on Tuesday. Finish one thing at a time. Jupiter spends the month in Gemini in your 12th house of rest and behind-the-scenes grace. That's quiet luck. Sleep aids your career more than ambition. Therapy, coaching, spiritual practice refill batteries no hustle can replace. On September 30th, with the moon in Sagittarius facing Jupiter in Gemini and Mercury finally clear of the Sun, you get a fair-minded day for tidy agreements with collaborators and for closing one leak. An old subscription, a useless fee. You don't need a windfall. You need fewer holes in the bucket. That's how Cancer builds safety. Home deserves its own altar in this story. Mars in Libra turns you into the decisive one under your roof. Use that power to create peace, not theater. Oil the hinge, label the bin, fix the light. Set the ritual that tells your nervous system, we're safe here. A candle at dinner. Music while you prep. A short walk at dusk. 5 minutes of silence on the couch before bed. If you're managing elders, landlords, realtors, contractors, ask for what you need and bring paperwork. When the solar eclipse hits your schedule and speech, try the rule no criticism after 9 p.m. and watch evenings soften. If you have kids, Mars can make rooms loud. It's not personal, it's physics. Channel it. Race up the stairs, living room dance, timer for cleanup. During the moon's combustion window, 20 to 23, lower expectations across the board. That's not the weekend to solve a decade-old family pattern. That's soup and sleep and smaller stakes. If love is new, keep it simple. If love is long, keep it honest. If love is heavy, don't punish yourself for needing. Soft and strong can share the same chest. Walk the month as scenes you can actually live. The 3rd, Mercury's heat flips on. You feel your mind race around money and speech. You slow your send and save 3 arguments. The 6th, a private switch clicks. You're done letting noise set your pulse. You clean your feed, cap your apps, and your shoulders lower an inch. The 7/8, money and trust hit the table. You say one true sentence, write one number, breathe, and don't let panic drive. The 13th, in the middle of a shower, a drive, a meal, the Sun and Mercury hand you a rule about value and tone. You write it and keep it. Later, Mars crosses your threshold, and you pick up a tool and do one small thing at home that makes you proud. The 15th, Venus adds grace to asks. Mercury adds order to days. You place 2 blocks on your calendar where peace is non-negotiable. The 17th, The Sun joins Mercury. Structure feels like kindness. A boss or mentor pushes. You answer with 3 points and a boundary. The 20th to 23rd, the Moon hides behind the Sun. You lower inputs and slow choices. The 21st to 22nd, the Solar Eclipse writes a new daily rule set. You delete one drain, set one iron boundary, install one gentle practice. No speech, system. The 26th to 28th, the Moon dips low. You keep plans simple. You feed body and mind. The 30th, you send the honest message and then rest. Let the work land. Pluto retrograde in your 7th keeps truth close to the surface in relationships and contracts. If the bond is sound, September helps you set terms that heal. If the agreement is fair, September helps you write it. If something's off, you'll feel it faster, especially early when Venus in Cancer faces Pluto across the table. Don't go hunting for trouble. Refuse to pretend when your body says no. Remember, a boundary is not a wall. It's a door with a lock. The right people have the key. The wrong ones bounce and leave. Mars in your 4th can make you fierce. Use that power to protect peace, not to referee fights you don't need. When in doubt, walk before you talk. The person you love is not the problem. The problem is the problem. Team up against that. If you want a mantra plan that fits in your pocket, here it is. September 3 to 14. Speak gently around money and treat yourself kindly when numbers get loud. September 15 onward, make your home, schedule, and messages simple and clear. September 7 to 8, tell the truth about shared resources and values. September 13, write one money rule and one tone rule. September 15, use charm to ask for what you're worth. Use order to protect your peace. September 17, turn beliefs into calendar blocks. September 20 through 23, slow and soft. September 21st to 22nd, install new defaults. September 26 to 28, lower the bar and be kind. September 30th, close a loop and rest. Follow this, and the month won't just pass. You'll feel the difference in your body and in your home. You care deeply, and you carry more than your share because you're wired to protect and nourish. September asks you to keep nurturing, but with better edges and fewer leaks. The lunar eclipse pulls tired money stories and trust patterns into the open so you can fix them. The Sun-Mercury Cazimi hands you a rule that stabilizes months. Mars gives you courage to fortify your base and speak cleanly at home. Venus adds sweetness to money and voice, so the talks that used to scare you turn into agreements that steady you. Mercury and the Sun in Virgo show you that little systems make big peace. Saturn retrograde keeps you honest about your larger path. Neptune retrograde keeps you kind. Uranus retrograde helps you rewire your social life, so friends and goals actually help you rest and grow. Pluto retrograde keeps agreements honest. Jupiter in Gemini whispers that sleep and behind-the-scenes support are not luxuries, they're power sources. Do this, and you'll end September with a haul that's clear, bills labeled, a softer tone at home, a cleaner message outside it, closer trust with the right people, and distance from those who fed on your worry. You didn't force it. You chose simple rules and kinder moves and repeated them when you were tired. That is real power for a Cancer ascendant. Picture the last day of the month. The lamp you like is on, the sink is empty, the phone sleeps in another room, the inbox is closed, your chest is quiet. The people who matter know where you are because you told them the truth and put it on the calendar. The life you're building can hold work and love and peace at the same time. That's the point. September doesn't end for you. It detonates into October, and because you did the work, that blast doesn't crack your home. It blows out the old walls that kept your joy small. If this spoke to your heart and steadied your hands, subscribe for more. Like this so it finds the ones who need it, and tell me in the comments where September touched your life. We're not done, but you're ready.